Hi, I'm Bonnie,
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
and we are here from Lemoore. And today we're going to be speaking to owners and medical estheticians, as well as those who plan to pursue this very growing profession in the aesthetics industry. So, for those who work in this industry, clients come to them for treatments. Why?
Getting help when they're struggling to find the right help and get results for their skin. So conditions,
Quickly,
yes.
right now.
Yeah, exactly. They want results right now, but it also people might try a product at home and get very frustrated because it's not working.
Mhm.
And they find that they need help at a higher level because of conditions on the skin.
Okay, so at a higher level. So that's what I was going to ask next. How does that differ from the types of treatments that a day spa, destination spa, or a solo practitioner esthetician might perform? How does it differ?
They're more invasive.
Can you
So
define that, please? Can you give me an example of the services we're talking about?
in the medical spa industry, they call them minimally invasive.
Okay.
Now, to the spa industry, that sounds the opposite. But minimally invasive means not a surgery
Okay.
because
No
it's in a medical
scalpels,
field. Yes.
no facelifts, none of that sort of thing. Give me some examples of what services we'd be talking about. Name them.
Absolutely. We would be talking about chemical peels, especially depending on the depth of the peel. We would be talking about microneedling. We would be talking about laser, whether we talk about ablative or non-ablative. We talk about IPLs and intense pulse light therapy treatments and more.
And
There could be
more.
quite a plethora more.
Lots of things. So clients pay really good money for these services, don't they?
Yes.
These are, and you can see why people may go into the industry because it is such a growing field, and there's a real opportunity to offer services that offer those kind of very immediate results. You can send your client home with some very clear goals. I think, though, if it were my business and as a business owner myself, I'd want to make sure my clients are really satisfied with those treatments, right? I want to be able to say to my clients, here's what you're going to expect and when. I think, though, that it's all going to depend on what the client starts with, right? What they come
Absolutely.
in with as a concern. And I think I'd like to ask you, how does S support this medical spa market?
S has just come out with a system, a full range of pre and post care for the medical aesthetics industry.
All right.
They were doing a lot, and I mean a lot, of clinical research. They have a lot of published information and studies showing the results of better preparing the skin pre and post procedure for optimal longevity results.
And why is it so important that a client's skin be ready for some of these treatments that you mentioned?
Risk of great potential side effects. So this is considered minimally invasive to medical, but to a spa industry person, this is invasive. So when you increase risk of invasiveness, you increase risk of injury, you increase risk of side effects.
Can you give me an example of some of the side effects of a treatment gone sideways?
Oh, absolutely. Scarring is significant, whether we talk about atrophic, hypertrophic, or keloid scarring. Burns are very significant and to degree levels, can even get up to third-degree burns.
Ooh.
And depending on the melanin production in someone's skin, their risk of PIH, which is post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, and long-lasting. So the risk of injury gives a significant issue of injury, and the scarring, can it really always go away?
So I think that there's some pretty strong impetus there for spa owners to help their clients prepare their skin before the treatment and
Help it heal
afterwards.
Mhm.
Afterwards, to get those kind of quick results that the client is looking for. So, you had mentioned to me earlier about the goal of these minimally invasive treatments being a controlled wound response. What happens in that situation? What is a controlled wound response?
A controlled wound response, you would specifically discuss in theory the stages of wound healing. Any injury goes through stages of wound healing. So, knowing that science, can we control the stages of wound healing? And with stages of wound healing, we understand specifically when we get to proliferative phase is the fibroblasting of collagen and elastin. So, if it can be a minimal invasive procedure that doesn't injure the entire epithelial tissue, the entire skin organ, and only a part of it, you injure it just a little bit enough to force the collagen and elastin to grow.
So then you're going to get better results faster,
Absolutely.
is what I'm hearing you're saying.
Better results faster and significant growth of healthy tissue that you couldn't get at a day spa level. You have to get in a clinical medical setting.
Okay, so then let's circle back now to talk about this new aesthetic line that S offers and what does it do? Talk about pre-treatment and then let's talk about post-treatment.
Okay. So every minimally invasive procedure requires pre-treatment and post-treatment, but yes, let's start on pre-treatment. Preparing the skin to be able to handle the procedure. If someone's skin is not prepared at all,
so it has a condition that it's like, here's why I'm coming to you. My face is experiencing this condition and I'm going to need this treatment to help me recover. So my skin's already having challenges.
Yep. So skin's already having challenges, whether we talk about epidermis or dermis, and they're wanting results. But if the skin is not prepared for that minimally invasive procedure, the organ itself is going to react. It's not going to be happy, and it's going to have a very, very negative outcome of things we talked about.
So you may not be in charge of that controlled wound healing. Okay, so how does the S Aesthetics line work on that pre-treatment?
Education first. We've talked about it in previous videos, but education around fully understanding and encompassing the skin microbiome. We know it started from the Human Microbiome Project, and it took off by leaps and bounds, which is amazing. And understanding that healthy skin barrier is a healthy skin microbiome. So bringing in the pre-aesthetics range is looking at live probiotic, let me be very clear, a true live probiotic that can fit under the live biotherapeutic definition properly, with also prebiotics and postbiotics to really hone in at least 2 weeks before procedure, hone in on competitive exclusion, really feed our good microbes, help with competitive exclusion to exclude away pathogenic microbes. So when you're going into an invasive procedure, there's going to be less pathogenic microbes on the skin. So that lowers the risk of negative side effects.
Okay, so the image that comes to my mind is a castle and the drawbridge, and we lift the drawbridge so that there's a barrier around the castle, which is your skin microbiome, so the bad guys can't get in.
Correct.
So we feed the skin with good live biotherapeutics so that your skin is its strongest and most defended before it's subject to that minimally invasive treatment.
Yes.
Okay, that makes perfect sense to me. Let's get it ready. Let's get it as healthy and strong and protected as we can so that it's ready to face what could be considered a fairly strong assault, either with a deep peel or microneedling or any of the newer aesthetic medical aesthetic treatments. So after the treatment, what do we want to happen with that controlled wound healing, and how does S support that in this range?
We need to support, pretty much you said it in your question. We need to support the controlled wound. We need to support the stages of wound healing in a healthy manner. We need to keep that competitive exclusion on the skin so pathogenics cannot land. Because while, there's possibly layers of the epidermis gone, or there is controlled inflammatory response in the dermis, pathogens can wreak havoc, can cause adverse reactions against what the medical professionals and medical estheticians are trying to do. So we got to keep that healing process happen. And what S has significantly discovered, a big thing I found absolutely outstanding and amazing, is the healing time actually increased and less inflammation past that controlled stage of wound that we don't want. There's a time that we want that a little bit of inflammation for that controlled wound to be
Because
happening.
it promotes the collagen production.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to promote that fibroblast activity in collagen and elastin. But then there's a time where the inflammation needs to stop now, because now we're getting into a negative response. So when is that cutoff period? And having a quicker cutoff period to when we need it to happen is significant, and people are healing quicker. And if they're healing quicker, the results have been greater as well at times.
That's the thing. So we've talked about the science. The science is feed the microbiome, create competitive exclusion so that the pathogens have no purchase on your skin. And the end result is a happier client that says to you, thank you for taking my money because I'm really happy with the treatment that I had. And I think there's both need to go together. You need to have the science understanding. You need to have the knowledge of the risks and benefits of the treatments you're offering. And you need to be very clear what you're offering to your clients, and to be supported by products that are going to offer your clients that pre-treatment and post-treatment preparation.
Absolutely.
And S has both of those.
Yes.
So is there anything else you want to add to that, or shall we save some more stuff for another subject?
I think we need to wait and save something,
because there is so much to talk about. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you for our next YouTube Live to talk about the skin microbiome.